Hello. Yeah, here we are. So we got to go through a few things, haven't we? Right. I've not really. Well, hang on. We got to. Should really friggin' take care of things fast. Got to. All right. Cool. How's things been going? What's been going on? Been a while, man. Like, where the frig have you been? Well, kind of a lot's happened. So let's go through those things now, shall we? First of all, I got sick. I got ill. I was out cold for a week, just in bed, totally sick. It's not really the main reason, but it definitely contributed, you know. Got to be secure, you know, you got to be secure with these things. There we go. All right, I guess that would do. I was sick, right, for a whole week. And the other thing was I was kind of struggling with the channel. Like, I wasn't really doing much with it, and I kind of lost my way a little bit. Like, for those of you that know me, like, I make it up as I go along, and with the channel it's kind of a lot of stuff to do, you know. Like, you don't really know what you're doing with a lot of stuff. You've got to teach yourself, and it's difficult. And I felt that maybe I was in a bit of a rut, and that I wasn't really, I do know actually, I was spending less time on the channel and more time on Discord, with the Discord community that we have going on. And I feel like maybe that created some kind of disconnect from the channel and me. And so it almost became like Discord and the channel became separate entities, when really they're one and the same. And for some reason in my mind that wasn't the case. So what I've done is move back towards the channel in an attempt to, you know, get the community there. So that happened. So I wasn't feeling very inspired. I wasn't feeling very inspired, despite the lovely people on Discord. I had a bit of a disconnect, and I need to take some time. Need to take a break to reconsider things. Like, there was a few things. Like, technically there was an issue. Like, I should be recording. Like, I'm a little bit obsessed with quality of sound, quality of footage, quality of recording. Like, you just kind of do, you know. You kind of want to upgrade, up your game and get the quality better and stuff. And I felt like I maybe like plateaued out a little bit there. Like, there's not so much else I could do. Like, you know, I've got this sucker. And it turns out that streaming on one computer is really difficult. Like, it just gets too hot, and I experienced this thing called thermal throttling, where it just drops frames because it gets too hot. So that was a bit disappointing, because it took some time to get that. And I thought that would solve all my problems, but I don't know what it's not all about hardware, you know. You can have a decent channel as long as your audio isn't completely Bobatrons. Be all right, you know. So, right, okay, all that shite aside. So I wasn't feeling very inspired, but then I got an invitation to go to Stockholm for this YouTube thing, right? This YouTube Stockholm pop-up. It's kind of like a series of classes, series of workshops where you meet and talk about a few things, and that was pretty cool. What happened there? So I got to go along. There was like free stuff, which I like. Anytime you want to give me free stuff, I'm pretty much on board. I think everyone's the same with that respect. Whenever there's free stuff, they're on board, I would say. I'd be surprised if anyone wasn't. But it was informative, right? I got to meet a few people. Some people I met really nice. There was some real try. Okay, so day one, right? Day one, you walk in, you don't really know people. It's a bit awkward. Like, the first thing was like this cafe/workshop where you could chat with people and just, you know, have a cup of coffee, sit down, send some messages, do some channel shizness and talk to people, right? And I wasn't talking, right? I was kind of like eating chockies, and I was a bit like, talking to people in real life, it's a bit much, you know, because I exist in this world and online. So talking face-to-face people can be intimidating at times. So I was like, right, make an effort. What can I talk about as common ground? That dude's got a camera. I'll talk to him. He's got a camera. So I started up some crummy small talk conversation about his camera. I was like, oh, that's a nice camera. What kind of camera is that? That mic's quite nice. Can I have a look? Is it all right? And he was sort of talking, not so much, but then he kind of looked at his hand. He was eating, so maybe I disrupted his eating, but it was informal. It wasn't lunchtime or anything. But he looked at his hand. He's like, "Oh, got something on my hand." So he went to like wipe his hand, And then so I was just sitting there. I thought I'd check my phone, and he wandered off to the bathroom, to the toilet. I was like, all right, he's gone to the toilet. Fine. Conversation's not coming back. Fine. Give it a minute. It'll come back even. But then he went and spoke. When he came out, he went and spoke to other people. So he totally like. Just total absolutely brutal. And I had to have a word with myself at that point. I was like, Table, not everyone's a douche like this guy. Just don't let that affect you. He's a douche. That behaviour is him. You didn't say anything really weird. You just talked to him about his camera. If he was bored with it, fair enough, but he could have excused himself. I spoke to some other people. One dude said, I'm going to go... It's my lighting. I spoke to one guy. He said, I'm going to go and speak to other people. I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely fine. No offense taken whatsoever. Go chat to other people. But anyway, so that day I went and we went into this room to do this talk, and there was like 5 tables, 3 of which were unoccupied, 2 were occupied, and one of them had only 1 seat left. And I just thought, you know what? I should sit at that table with loads of people on. And I said, do you mind if I sit here? And I actually had a blast talking to them. One guy kept calling me fucking... It's not his voice at all. For the purpose of this, it would be his voice. He's like, fucking British. You think you're fat? He didn't say, like, all he said was, he kept calling me fucking British. Not in that voice, and not that cheekily. And I was like, in my mind, he did it like 3 times. It was like the same tired joke. And it's like, all right, maybe like he was like imprisoned by some British people or bullied. And then he had this trauma. And then he could only, whenever he met someone that was British, it manifested in kind of passive aggressive kind of talk. But he's actually quite nice, which confused me a little bit, but it's all right. It's just a bit of bants, you know, a bit of banter, so that was all good. But I had a really good time speaking to those people. That was really nice. Met some really nice people. There's a couple, I mean, yeah, it was nice. I mean, how many times am I going to say it was nice, it's nice. Don't know how many times I'm going to bother saying that, but yeah. So that kind of like inspired me a little bit, like little things like Google Trends, never knew that existed. That's pretty useful. Setting up your phone so you can get comments from the videos on that, never knew about that. So now if you comment on this video, it'll come through blink blonk blonk on my phone, so I can just like reply to that sooner, which I thought was really nice, you know, like quicker response, quicker replies. So yeah, basically I'm back. So I wanted to make this to say, you know, sorry for being gone. Got sick, got a little bit unsure what I was doing with the channel, and it really is about the laughs. It really is about the fun, about the laughs, about the funny stuff. So that was, you know, had to get that back. Got stuff I want to do with the channel. We've got a few games we want to play, multiplayer games, RTS games. Well, not just multiplayer games. Like, I want to fight people I know and beat or get beaten by people I know. I like that. So if you guys want to get in contact with me about playing some games, we've got a lot more games now available. What am I talking about? We got a lot more games available. Fucking British, you tried to be some funny man. That's now the voice. You tried to be funny man. That's it really. That's all I gotta say. So we're back in business. Yeah, and if you want to get in contact with me, please do, and we can have a few laughs. Even if you want to drop me a weird ass comment, that would be welcome. Like, the weirder the better, really. Like, there's a finesse to it. Like, there's weird and then there's vulgar, and there's like a fine line. You know that real like, that's a good comment. You know. But anyway, right, I digress. So yeah, more games to come. I'll see you soon. No worries. It's all good.